Manuel? Manuel? O que é isto?
Mom, where did you find this?
Fell out of your jeans. I'm doing laundry.
So welcome to Queerguru TV. So you're two independent filmmakers who are determined to provide a platform for LGBT short films. Why and why now?
Well, we are filmmakers as well, and what we often hear amongst other filmmakers that we meet is that there isn't really much of a market for short films after they've finished on the festival circuit. And we think that's a crying shame because there is some fantastic material out there, and there are audiences who are just not getting to see that stuff. So we think it's valuable, we think it needs to be out there, but we also recognise it's quite labour intensive to manage that process. So distributors are much more inclined to go for feature films because then you've got one contract, one point of contact for 90 minutes of content, whereas with you've got one contract and one point of contact for maybe a 3-minute short. So what we've done is we've developed this as a community interest company. So it's a not-for-profit, which doesn't mean to say we don't make money, but what that means is that any money we make stays within the organisation and goes back to filmmakers. So rather than us being just a distributor, we're a collaboration of filmmakers, asking other filmmakers to contribute their shorts to be uploaded onto our platform and have some live screenings, so we can sell that in one place. It's all short films, all queer, all in one place, and all the money going back to filmmakers.
So Iris didn't say it's called QueerBee.
Yes.
I didn't say that. So would there be any editorial control at all, or can anybody put anything on?
But filmmakers submit through a Film Freeway, which is a standard film festival portal, and there are questions and answers through that to ensure that the material is suitable, because you'd be surprised how many people just submit stuff without really reading it. It's all watched, the material's all watched by people, different people, and about 50% of the material that is submitted is eventually uploaded and screened in communities. Sometimes that's because of quality, sometimes that's because of an abundance of a certain type of story. Other times it's, rights issues. They may be using music that we feel uncomfortable about later on being challenged over. So there could be a number of reasons why a film doesn't get through, but the stuff that does get through is all very good quality and very thought-provoking.
We should explain to people watching this who don't know that to submit a film to a film festival, there's a fee for each festival. So after you've made your film, you have to find this bucket load of money to get in as many festivals as possible. But then what happens generally to the film after the film festival circuits?
Nothing. I think...
well, what do you think then of when Logo started, there were the big savers and nothing happened? So do you think that you're going to be the first platform for queer short films?
I think we are for exclusively short films. There are other queer platforms, but they have a range of material. So ours is exclusively short, exclusively under 20 minutes. And I think it's very specific, it's very targeted. And I do think we're the first. I also think we're the first where we say 100% of our financial surplus will go back to filmmakers. Most of the other enterprises are private, with shareholders. Ours is definitely a community project.
As one of the few male gay critics who covers as much lesbian, transgender and other on the spectrum, do you still think, and because the playing field is not level at all, are you going to try and level it a little bit with what the content you have?
Yes, absolutely. And certainly, we are very keen to have films from women directors, from trans directors, from people of colour, people with disabilities. So we will often offer discounts or waiver fees to those people.
Okay. You actually made a film, the two of you, about how difficult it is to make a film.
Yes.
Called,
That's right. That was our first film.
Angie and Jackie's Final Cuts.
Yeah.
So was that like a relief because you were having such problems with getting it off the ground? This is
our journey has been. We started off as audience for many years, film festival fans, short film fans, and we recognise the exquisiteness of some of the shorts and the authenticity and the authentic voices coming through, because they don't involve big budgets, they don't involve teams of people who het wash things or limit the amount of airtime that a queer character has. We started as audience, and we were finding we weren't seeing ourselves as older women and ourselves and our community, which is very varied. Very rich and diverse friendship group, and yet a lot of the films we were seeing didn't reflect that at all. So we made that first film to see if it was really so difficult to make a film, and it was. It was more difficult than we thought, but still very satisfying, and we were very pleased with the result.
So I'm assuming this is the global platform you're offering here.
Yes.
So how do you plan to get the word out around the globe, though, for people to sign in?
Well, the first issue for us was the legal side of things, making sure that we couldn't be sued by a government somewhere where it's illegal to be gay, to be accused of promoting gay lifestyle, so that it had to put the onus back on the individual who sought us out, and we had to make that very clear.
I never knew that, because we have followers in 46 different countries, but I never thought about the aspect you just mentioned.
Yes, well, we get quite a few films from Iran and India, and of course India is legal now, but it wasn't at the time, and countries like that. So, there are underground filmmaker movements, queer filmmaker movements, which is astonishing, really, how they manage to do that. Yeah. But that brings risks for everybody when the government in your country is completely opposite in their view. We're making it available globally by advertising it on the internet and through groups like yourselves, outlets everywhere around the world that, you just need somebody to pick it up and pass on the word.
Yeah. If there are any filmmakers out there watching now, what do they need to do? Go to Film Freeway? Yep.
Find us, we're QueerBee, and submit your film. It's very low cost. It's $10. That's just to stop everybody from submitting everything, because we don't have the capacity to filter all of that.
So how much is it for a subscriber?
£40 a year, or $3.99 a month.
So that's in pounds sterling, obviously.
Yes. So obviously it's cheaper in the long term if you subscribe annually, and also because we see it as, in a way, like a crowdfunding platform, because the money's going back to filmmakers. We would want people to subscribe for a year, because we would be introducing new content to the platform frequently.
How often are you putting a statement out? How often do you need to wait for subscribers to fund the expansion, or you're just putting it automatically?
No, we're funding that ourselves at the moment to make sure that it's there. And it's not really terribly expensive to, get the platform going, have that up and running. And it's a lot of work, though, to get the content ready, to optimise it, to upload it, to make sure that it's all working. The other thing that we find a lot is that people don't necessarily have subtitles or captions
True.
So that's something that we're working on.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's English speaking, most people are quite happy with English speaking content, but we think that it should be more accessible.
Yeah.
So we'd like to get those captions done, which means we need to get people to transcribe. We'd also like to get it translated into other languages, so that those people in countries where it is illegal could also be picking up on that content.
So where do you expect to be in 1 year from now?
Well, we're in year 2 of a first phase, which is 3 years. So this time next year, we expect to have 5,000 subscribers, which will give us the security to develop on the lines that Angie's just explained, with more translations, subtitles, and so on. We also have we have 2 people working with us on going through back catalogues of film festivals and approaching people about their older films. We've also been working with some notable filmmakers on their own old archived films which need to be digitised. So there's all sorts of technical question marks around some historic material that we'd like to upload. We do have a lot of trans material, thankfully, because we have very good connections to the trans communities. But we're short of disabilities, so we'll be going out and seeking films on queer people with disabilities and so on. All of those strands of work, which by this time next year should be launching.
I'm very excited about disability, because the very first one on Netflix this year has been Special, which you've seen.
Yes,
which is amazing. So amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm really excited. I'm a film buff, so I'm really excited, and I encourage anything for short films. So good luck to you both, and I hope we'll touch base next year, and you'll be, I don't know, maybe doing big films as well. Okay, good to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Keep in touch.
Bye.
I was born in the Maldives as Abraham Naim. I'm a recognized refugee living in New Zealand. Because, well, if you didn't know, the Maldives is Muslim. Like, really Muslim. Meaning same-sex relationships are a major no-no. You get caught kissing someone of the same sex, and you'll get arrested. You'll get whipped, you'll get deported, and in some cases, you might even get killed. All this just for being yourself. Some of my friends who are in the closet have been trying dating apps. It's very dangerous. One of them tried to meet a guy once, but it was a trap. He was threatened at knife point, money and phone stolen. As you can imagine, it's extremely risky being gay in the Maldives, even if you're closeted. So a lot of gay guys have to marry women to hide their sexuality. It's not fair on anyone. So when I was about 7, I used to try on my sister's clothes. She had the most beautiful gowns, amazing stilettos, and fierce accessories.